Hello everyone, and welcome to Eyes to See Decodes. My name is Chris, and I will be your guide today. Today we're going to be breaking down and decoding Kill the Rats. Now this topic has come up in the media in the last couple weeks. I'm going to show you a few examples, and we're going to dissect this topic. And as you can see, the word rats is a mirror to the word star. And if you've watched my Decode, We Are the Stars, it'll make sense. So let's move on. Let's take a look at what we're going to do. So these are going to be my methods of decoding today. We're going to be using the Chaldean gematria cipher. This is the oldest known numerology cipher. It's based on the numbers 1 to 8. It attaches a number to a letter based on the sound of the letter, the phonetics of the letter. So just like the musical scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, which is 8 notes, there are 8 numbers attached to these 8 sounds within the alphabet. This Chaldean cipher pairs very well with the English Ordinal cipher. It pairs very well with the periodic table of elements and as well as the tarot deck. I won't be using those in my decode today. However, I will be using the English Ordinal ciphers. This is a very simple cipher. It's just using letters as numbers. So A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, all the way up to Z equals 26. And also the mirror image of that would be the opposite, where A equals 26 and Z equals 1. So it's just a mirror image of the English Ordinal cipher, forward and reverse. And I will also be using the Strong's Concordance of the Bible, which has every number in, or every word in the Bible, in the Old Testament and the New Testament, indexed by number and the definitions of those words. And that is how the program eSword allows us to translate on the fly the Bible. So we can also use Strong's Concordance for some insight into especially bigger numbers. 4-digit numbers and 3-digit numbers are great, but all the numbers are great for using the Strong's Concordance. And you can see here I have an example of the word Jesus Christ, and you can see here how the Chaldean cipher matches and pairs well with the English Ordinal cipher. As we see here in the Ordinal cipher, Jesus Christ gives us a sum total of 151. 151 is the 36th prime number, and Jesus Christ in the Chaldean cipher is the number 36. And 36 is tied, as we know, to the number 666 as the 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to 36 sums to the number 666, and symbolically 36 gives us 36 or 3 sixes for the 666. So today's topics, we're going to look at, we're going to start with some biblical foundations so that we can understand the symbolism and the gematria as we move through our decode. After we do that, we will be examining the brand new Season 2, Episode 1 of House of the Dragon. After that, we'll move on to Ariana Grande's brand new music video called The Boy Is Mine. And we'll finish that off with the theme of this decode, Kill the Rats. So let's begin. We're going to look at some biblical foundations. In order to decode the Bible and to understand it, I use the program called eSword. Here is the link below for a free download of this program. It's free on the PC. For a laptop or PC, and this is a screenshot of what it looks like when you use the program. And you can see here on the left hand side are the Bible chapters, or the Bible books, and then the chapters, and then you can read the verses here in this upper box. There's 2 tabs. One is the KJV and one is KJV Plus, and the Plus has the hyperlinks beside all the words with the links to Strong's Concordance and the definitions of the words and the words that were in the original text and got translated into English, so we can read it on the fly and see what the original word was and the original definition of that word and what its intent and meaning was, because it's very different than the English, as we'll see. So our first verse we're going to look at is Isaiah 27 verse 1. And that verse is, "In that day the Lord with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan the piercing serpent, even Leviathan that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea." So we see here that the word Leviathan, serpent, and dragon are all within the same verse. They are all symbolic representations of Satan or the devil. And we see here proof of that looking at the sigil of Baphomet, which is the central logo for the Church of Satan. And the sigil of Baphomet is here on the left. And you can see here it's the red upside down 5-pointed star. And the 5-pointed star is a representation of us, man, and the 5-pointed star with the point downwards symbolically is man upside down. And in Satanism, there's a central concept of turning Jesus's sheep into goats. Goats are lawless. So you can see the goat head within the 5-pointed star here. And on the vertices of the star, or the points of the star, there's Hebrew lettering. And we see here it broken down that the 5 Hebrew letters on the outside of the points of the symbol spell out the word Leviathan. And we see that word up in Isaiah 27:1. And in Hebrew gematria, out of the 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, each letter has a numeral attached to it, which is the basis for gematria. So this is the original gematria, and this is Hebrew gematria. So in Hebrew, the 5 letters that spell Leviathan sum to the number 496. And using Strong's Concordance, the number 496 within the Strong's is the Greek verb, and that word is antipipto, and that means to fall against, to strive against. I resist, oppose, fall against or upon the and the opposer of the Lord God. So that's a match there. The next thing I want to look at is the number 616. It's an alternative number to the classic 666 from Revelation 13:18, and most people may not know that the number 616 is also an alternative number of the devil or the beast. And here, according to ChatGPT, it tells us that Papyrus 115 from the Dead Sea Scrolls, an early New Testament manuscript, reveals that the number 616, instead of the traditionally known 666, as the number of the beast, and that is in Revelation 13 verse 18, and this variation found in some ancient texts suggests alternative numerical interpretations, possibly due to different traditions or scribal errors. Both 666 and 616 are thought to symbolically refer to the Roman Emperor Nero through the practice of gematria. Despite the variation, the numbers consistently symbolize ultimate evil and opposition to God in Christian eschatology. So I found this example for 616. This is off of Disney or Marvel, and this is a documentary from Marvel, and it's Marvel 616. And according to IMDb, the reference to the 616 that Disney uses is due to the title is referring to Earth 616. So in the Marvel Comics multiverse, Earth 616 is the primary universe. So isn't that interesting? Okay, let's check out our next verse. So we're going to break down Isaiah 14:12 and 14:13, and this verse is where we see the name or the usage of the word Lucifer in the Bible. So let's take a look. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So some of the words that we're going to break down here, the word Lucifer is the Hebrew word 1966, Hellel, and the definition for that is a shining one. It's an epithet of the king of Babylon, the shining one, the son of dawn, the star of the morning. It's also an epithet of Venus, the morning star. So the word nations is in the green here, and the word nations is the Hebrew word 1471, and that word is goy, and that means Gentile, heathen, nation, or people. A goy in the sense of massing a foreign nation, hence a Gentile, also figuratively a troop of animals or a flight of locusts. And then the stars of God here. So what are the stars? And that's in the yellow. And that is the Hebrew word 3556, kokab. That means star or stargazer. And it means in the sense of rolling, like a rolling star. In the sense of blazing, a star as round or as shining, like the movie The Shining. Figuratively, a prince. And remember the word prince here. We're going to see that in the word God here. The word God in Isaiah 14:13 is not the word Elohim, it is the word El, and that's Hebrew word 410 El, and that is God, especially mighty, especially the Almighty God. So that's El, the Almighty. And then in the mount in the congregations in the sides of the north, and why that's significant is the word north is the Hebrew word 6828, Saphon, I believe is how it's pronounced, and that's the northern side, dark or gloomy. And the north side is properly hidden, it's dark. It's used only as the north as a quarter, it's gloomy and unknown, the dark side. And we see here a corporate logo for the North Face, and the north face of a mountain never receives sun, it's the dark side. Just one more ad here. The number 39 is relevant. We're going to see that in our decode. You can see the Hebrew spelling of Hallel here. If you put that into the Hebrew calculator, it gives us the number 39. So the number 39 is a match to Lucifer in the biblical spelling of the Bible from 1412 here. Let's check out our next verse. So next we're going to look at 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3. And that verse says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." And the key word here in this verse is the word soldier, and that breaks down to the Greek word 4757, and that means soldier, and it means it's the same as the word stratia, and that stratia link goes to 4756, and that means army or host, and that means as encamped or camp likeness, and army, figuratively the angels, the celestial luminaries. So here we see a match that the angels and the celestial luminaries are one and the same, the stars. And interesting, in gematria, the word celestial luminaries sums to the number 59, and 59 is the 17th prime number. So the number 17 is tied to the celestial luminaries, and we see that in the tarot deck, where the 17th card is the star card, and in Chaldean gematria, the number 17 is associated with the word angel. So here we go, we see the connection to the number 17, the angels, the celestial luminaries. And here we see an example here of a human body with the arms stretched out, gives us the 5-pointed star with the sigil of Baphomet, showing us that that is upside down. And you can see here, this is our chakra system. We are light beings, and our aura. And you can see that is coming in. We are the stars. We are the light. Let's check out our next verse. So the next verse we're going to look at is 1 Samuel chapter 11 verse 2. This verse was recently shown to us on the Jonathan Kleck channel, and we're going to take a look at it here. So this says, "And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, On this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes and lay it for a reproach upon all of Israel." And the word Nahash here is the Hebrew word 5176, it's the same as the word nakash. And the word nakash is Hebrew word 5175, and we've seen that word before. That word was the same word used in Genesis 3:1 with the snake in the Garden of Eden. And that word breaks down. It means serpent, a snake. So this proper name Nahash is a reference to the snake in the garden. So and Nahash, the Ammonite, and the word Ammonite is the Hebrew word 5984, the Ammonites, but it's from the word Ammon, and the word Ammon is 5880 or 5983 in the Strongs, and that means tribal and inbred. So this means, and Nahash the serpent, the inbred tribe, from the inbred tribe, answered them, on this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes, and the right eye is the good eye, where the left eye is the evil eye, and lay it for reproach upon all of Israel. And the word Israel means he will rule as God, but it's from the word El, so he will rule as El the Almighty, and that breaks down from the words Sarah and El, which Sarah means, it's the Hebrew word 8280, and that means to have power as a prince of El, the Almighty God. So Israel means he will rule as El, as one of the princes. So when you're of the tribe of Israel, you're one of the princes of El, the Almighty God. And then the word reproach here is the Hebrew word 2781, chirpa, and that means to rebuke, reproachfully in shame, contumely, disgrace, and the pudenda. And the pudenda is another word for the female reproductive system. So we have a reference to the female here within 1 Samuel 11:12. So I also wanted to examine the concept of how the word rat is the mirror image of the word star. So rats mirrored is star, and we know that we are the stars, so it would make sense that to mock us, the word rats would be used in pop culture or media as a coded word. And we see that here. This is a meme, but this is, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage, is from a Smashing Pumpkins song. And we hear that the word rat, I'm just a rat in a cage, is a reference to ourselves. We are the rat in a cage, and that cage is the black cube of Saturn. Rats are also used for medical testing on humans. We are told that rats are very similar to humans, which makes them good test subjects, and this comic shows us that. The doctor is coming up to this lady and he says, "We thought you'd like to meet Reggie. He's the rat who we experimented on to find a cure for you." So you can see here that rats are used as test subjects in the medical community. And here's a poster for a very funny movie called The Rat Race, or Rat Race, and it's another euphemism for the human race, that we call the human race the rat race. So we, the humans, are called rats, and you can see that in the movie poster here. And I found this is a little image I found on the internet. It says rats and star underneath it, and the 5-pointed star that it made here in red is made from little rat faces all joined together. And the Chaldean gematria shows us the same thing, and you can see the word man summing to the word 10, or to the number 10, and man is 10. We have 5 fingers on each hand for 5 and 5 to give us 10. And the word star equals 10, as well as the word rats also equals 10. And here's Leonardo da Vinci's The Vitruvian Man with the arms outstretched, showing us that the man is the 5-pointed star within the squared circle. And here's a rat with the mirror image here, showing us the duality, the angel-demon duality here. So we're going to start, we're going to first look at a CNN article that was released on June 16th, 616, in regards to Season 2, Episode 1 of House of the Dragon. And we know that the dragon is the serpent, is the Leviathan, and is the devil. So this is House of the Devil. And the CNN article link here is on the bottom. So let's take a look. So according to CNN, this was released on June 16th, 616. it can be written, which we learned just earlier. 616 is another number that can be substituted for 666. So there's a number of the devil reference here on this date when this show is released, talking about House of the Dragon, House of the Devil. And House of the Dragon Season 2 premiere recap. Never trust the rat exterminator to do an assassin's job. And this article here looks like it was updated at 11:04 p.m. on Sunday, June 16th, 2024. And 11:04, we can ignore the 0 in numerology, so that gives us a number of 11:4 or 114. And 114 in Chaldean is known as a number that has another reference to the devil in it, a famous one from the Bible. And another name for the Bible is the Prince of the Power of the Air. And that sums to 114 in Chaldean. And that number 114, we've seen it in pop culture references similar that I can think of on the top of my head, like in Top Gun on Maverick's F-14 Tomcat. On the nose, the number 114 is on the nose of his plane, because Maverick, the rebel, is the prince of the power of the air. It's a nod to Lucifer and Satan in the movie. So let's see what the CNN article goes on to say here. So this is CNN. House of the Dragon returned on Sunday for its long-awaited second season, and the lesson in the premiere episode is that if you wish to carry out a hit on a one-eyed adult prince, maybe don't hire the rat exterminator because he might kill a child instead. But let's back up first. Last season, Aegon was crowned king. Rhaenyra crowned herself queen. Aemon Targaryen's dragon ate Rhaenyra's son Lucerys for lunch, and basically, war is on the precipice. When we meet Rhaenyra in the Season 2 premiere episode, she's overcome with grief about the death of Lucerys. And after she finds some closure on Lucerys' remains, she returns to Dragonstone to hold a Team Black Council meeting. Clearly still grief-stricken and mad, like mad, she says, "I want Aemon Targaryen," Rhaenyra says at the council meeting. If an eye for an eye seemed to be the approach to justice in Season 1, this season it's a son for a son. So House of the Dragon in English Chaldean sums to 181, matching Barack Hussein Obama II, his full name, matching the Morning Star, another name for Lucifer, Rings of Saturn, Saturn and Satan are one and the same, Isis, Horus, and Set is 181, State of Emergency, and the Beast System. Out of the Bible that we live in, the beast system, is also 181. And the words rat exterminator sum to 201 in English, and 201 is a big number with the Vatican and the Pope. That was broken down in my last decode. And we see here the number 201 used in media and pop culture, just like Event 201, which was held on October 18th, 2019. October 18th is a 1018. 1018 is a number out of the Bible that matches Luke 10:18, where we learn how Satan fell from heaven. The crooked serpent also sums to 201. Let's move on with the article. So continuing on with the CNN article, Rhaenyra's uncle husband, and it says, "Welcome back to incest-laden Westeros." Daemon is happy to help and hires a rat exterminator and an accomplice, who may be better known to book readers as Blood and Cheese, to kill Prince Aemon on the advice of the White Worm. Daemon explains to the rat guy that Prince Aemon has silver hair and one eye and shouldn't be hard to find, but he was. While rat guy does successfully sneak into the Red Keep, he does not find and slay one-eyed Aemon. He instead finds Queen Helena in her bedroom with her 2 young children and proceeds to slay young Prince Jaehaerys, King Aegon's heir. The unintended death of King Aegon's heir might complicate Rhaenyra's realm-wide quest for loyalty, because murdering an innocent child isn't a good look. Solid cliffhanger, though. And that's the end of the article. And we see here, welcome back to the incest-laden Westeros, and we saw that the Ammonites from the Bible are the incest tribe. So there's a reference right there to the snake incest tribe. Daemon is another word for demon, and Lucerus is another nod to the word Lucifer, and Prince Yaharis, the little boy that was killed, is another Yah is another name for Jehovah, another name for El the Almighty, Jehovah the Eternal, the self-existing eternal Jehovah. So let's break down the words blood and cheese, which is another name for the rat exterminator. So blood and cheese, blood and bait. The cheese is the bait in the trap. So blood and bait, blood and cheese sums to 112. And we know 112 is a very famous number. It's tied to the Jesuit order, the Catholic Church and the Vatican, as the Jesuit order boasts that they are in 112 countries. So 112 is tied to the Vatican, but it's also tied to the Virgin, as the word the Virgin sums to 112 in English, and so does the word Leviathan. Leviathan sums to 112. But more importantly, 112 is tied to the Vesica Piscis, as when we make a Vesica Piscis in sacred geometry, it creates this ratio of 265 of height here and 153 of width. And 265 minus 153 gives us the number 112. So 112 is the product of the Vesica Piscis. And the Vesica Piscis is a symbolic representation of the female reproductive system. And 112 matches the Virgin here. And we see that this Vesica Piscis symbol used in corporate logos pretty often. Here's an example of Coco Chanel, and this is their logo here, the two interlocking C's. C is the third letter of the alphabet, so that would be 33 or 33, which is a master number tied to life and death and ascension, and the Vesica Piscis is seen within the middle of the logo here. So to kill Prince Aemon on the advice of the white worm. So let's break down the white worm. The words the white worm sum to 167, and the number 167 is relevant because it is the 39th prime number. And the number 39, as we know, is the word Lucifer in Hebrew from the Bible, matching the Chaldean wording an assassin's job at 39, and angel in English at 39. So the white worm at 167 is relevant, and in the database in English for 167 has the Eye of Providence, Deal with the Devil, Satanic Rituals, Deep Mind Control, Pride Before the Fall, Scales of Justice, Energy Harvest, and Final Solution, which was seems to be the advice given to Prince Aemon here, the final solution to kill Lucerus, or I guess he was he was trying to kill the silver hair and one-eyed adult here. All right, let's move on. So on the same day that House of the Dragon was released, Season 2, Episode 1, there was a marketing stunt done on the Empire State Building. And this is an article from the New York Post, again posted on June 16th on 6/16. And it says, giant dragon inflatable, and that's an odd wording. We're going to have to break that down. Spotted on Empire State Building for latest House of the Dragon marketing stunt. And when we take giant dragon inflatable, their wording, and put it into the calculator, we get a sum total of 192. And 192 is a famous number. It's been brought up in a lot of decodes recently, with doing decodes, especially with the movie Leave the World Behind, because in English the words Leave the World Behind sum to 192. And in the end of the movie Leave the World Behind, the movie ends in the Commodus bunker, and the Roman Emperor Commodus died in the year 192. The Greek word number 3 in Strong's is the word Abaddon, which is another name for the devil. And Abaddon, another name for Abaddon, is the angel of the abyss. So the angel of the abyss, which is another name for the devil, also sums to 192. And so Leave the World sums to 192, matching The Angel of the Abyss and Giant Dragon Inflatable. So does Super Bowl 58, which was tied to Obama. Usher Raymond IV, the performer within Super Bowl 58, is sums to 192. Son of the Morning, another name for Lucifer, 192. E Pluribus Unum, which is on the back of the $1 bill, which means out of many one, is 192. Strong Delusion is 192. And Great Tribulation is 192. All tied to the movie Leave the World Behind. And Obama and Dragon are a perfect match in multiple ciphers, but the ones that I use for my decoding are English and Chaldean, and in the English reverse, Obama and Dragon match at the number 103. And the reason why it's relevant for Obama is this is his presidential portrait, and you can see here how it's him sitting on a chair with all these leaves around him. And this portrait is unlike any of the other presidential portraits. It really stands on its own, and within it there's some hidden imagery. The best way to see it is there's a gray dot here and a gray dot here. If you go get a bigger image of this and look at these are the eyes, and you'll see the image start to pop out, and that image is a snake in the garden. This was drawn in by Mr. Jonathan Kleck, who took a clear plastic overlay and just drew in the lines and colored it in so that we can see it using the change of shadows and the change of colors on the face. Drawing those in, you got the fangs and the open mouth here. This image also becomes a Tyrannosaurus Rex on the right hand side and a dead sheep here on the left, which I haven't shown, but for those who are interested, please go to the Kleck files and watch some of his videos, and he's broken this down several times. But this is Barack Hussein Obama II. In Chaldean is the number 56, matching Snake in the Garden at 56, as well as mass mind control. The number 56 is tied to mind control. And here's an image of the snake for comparison to have a look. And why I put Luke 10:18 here is the words Barack Obama. Barack means lightning. O or bo means from, and Bama means a high place like heaven. So lightning from heaven is what his name translates to in Hebrew. And Luke 10:18 is a famous passage, where a satanic passage. We see here it says, "He replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, like Barack Obama." And here's a pair of Nike shoes, just show you how this verse is used within the satanic pop culture. Luke 10:18, and this is shoes made by Nike and Little Nas X. These are the Satan shoes. There was only 666 pairs made. They sold for $1,018, 1018, just like Event 201 was on 1018. And on the corner of the shoes here it says Luke 10:18. You can zoom in and see it. He replied, I saw Satan fall like Barack Obama. More than that, there's another reference to Satan with Barack Obama, and we see that with his birthday, August 4th, 1961. And August 4th is the 216th day of the year. 216 is a product of 6 by 6 by 6. So there's no other day of the calendar would be perfect for him to be born on other than August 4th. And interestingly, on February 10th, 2007, Barack Obama announced his candidacy for the presidency of the United States in Springfield, Illinois, at the old state Capitol building where Abraham Lincoln had delivered his House Divided speech. Interesting that it's the House Divided speech, the angel demon, the duality here. And from his birthday, August 4th, 1961 to February 10th, 2007, it was precisely 45 years, 6 months, and 6 days. So on the day that he announced his presidency, that he was going to be a candidate for presidency, he was 45 years old, 6 months, and 6 days. 4566. And 4566 in the Bible, in Strong's Concordance, is the word Satan. So, going back to House of the Dragon, we see that Season 2, Episode 1 is called A Son for a Son. and the words a son for a son sum to 49 in Chaldean, matching the following words. Matching Queen Mother, demonic entity, angel in disguise, reign supreme, Antichrist system, the beast system, love is in the air, the seed of life, down in a hole, circle of life, eye of Horus, sell your soul, upside down, the Holy Spirit, forgive my sins, the end is here, and thank you, Jesus. Those all sum to 49. And the time difference between Season 2, Episode 1 to Season 2, Episode 8, the final episode of Season 2, is precisely 49 days. And that lands on Sunday, August 4th, 2024, which is going to be the 217th day of the year, not 216 because this year was a leap year, but this 216 is a reference to Barack Obama's birthday. He was born on the 216th day of the year. So Season 2, Episode 8, 2/8/28. 28 is Lucifer in Chaldean, and wouldn't you have it that House of the Dragon finishes their season on Barack Obama's birthday here. So next we're going to break down Ariana Grande's music video, The Boy Is Mine. And here's an image from the video where she's dressed up in a mask as the Catwoman, which interestingly enough, Ariana Grande sums to 31 in Chaldean, matching Catwoman as well as matching the word Leviathan. The link for the YouTube here is below. I'll also put it down in the description of my video. So the root meaning of the name Ariana means most holy, and the root meaning of the name Grande means great or large. So great and most holy is the root meaning of her name. In English, we saw in Chaldean her name summed to 31, but in English it sums to 93. And 93 is a very big number in the occult. It's tied to Aleister Crowley, the Ordo Templi Orientis, which is a secret society, Thelema. These are all tied to Aleister Crowley's satanic religions. It's also tied to the Bible, as Jesus Christ arrives in the Bible at the 930th chapter, and as I've said before, we can ignore the zero numerology that gives us the number 93, the Son of God, and the sun in our sky just happens to be 93 million miles away. So in Daniel 12:1, we learn that there's the time of trouble, and that word means female arrival, but the word trouble is 93 in English. A refuser is 93, castaway, assault, conquer, hunting, killings, harvest, satanic god, Saturn, the black cube, the police, penalty, and end of days, all summed to 93, matching her name, Ariana Grande. And she's known for her video, God is a Woman. This video alone deserves its own decode. It's filled with lots of symbolism. But if you see here on YouTube, the title page for the video shows us that the time or the length of her video, God is a Woman, is 4 minutes and 2 seconds. And again, ignoring the zero in numerology, that gives us the number 42. And God is a Woman in Chaldean numerology or Chaldean cipher sums to 42, matching the time on the video. So let's take a look at the video we're going to break down today. It's called The Boy Is Mine, and the title, The Boy Is Mine, sums to 43 in Chaldean, matching the following words: devil in a dress, Luciferianism, temptation, Ouroboros, Satan on earth, Isis, Horus, and Set, the Antichrist, we are the rats, slaughter race, snake venom, pink venom, two cherries, who's your daddy, the Illuminati, all the money, surveillance, Hollywood, and lost sheep. And we will see the pink venom come up in the video shortly. We are the rats is 43, the Antichrist, likely Barack Obama, Satan on earth, the Ouroboros, which is the snake eating its tail, Luciferianism, all summed to 43. And so the video starts with Ariana Grande watching. Well, actually, it starts with demonstrating a rat problem. There's some garbage men who get attacked by rats, and then transitions into this mayor on TV in front of a podium who's going to solve the rat problem. And he's describing this rat infestation as being an issue. And captured it here. He says, "This is our rat infestation." And she says, the scene immediately transitions right after this, and it shows Ariana Grande saying, "F those rats," like she hates those rats. And this video was released a few days before June 16th, 616. But as you see here, the length of the video on the title page was 617. But when you get into the video, it shows us that the actual length of her video is 6 minutes and 16 seconds, 616, just like the date June 16th, 616, and like the alternative number of the beast at 616 from the Dead Sea Scrolls. So June 7th is a number also relevant to the Church of Satan, as it's 6-7, the 6th month, the 7th day, and can be written as 6-7. The Church of Satan sums to 67, and I did a decode on the Church of Satan, and the number 67 is heavily tied to the Church of Satan. It's also the word Mother of Dragons, which is another term for the Game of Thrones character who was the Queen of the Dragons in the original series. So we see here the mayor is continuing to talk on the podium, and he tells the audience that they've gathered the city's overflow of stray cats. This is the genius idea that the mayor is going to propose, that they're going to gather all these stray cats in the city and employ them to go and kill all the rats. So these cats are going to kill the rats. And the mayor's name here is Max Starling. And we can see here that the word star is within his name. Knowing that the word star is us, the angels. The word starling is also a reference to a bird, and birds are also a symbolic representation of angels as well. So his name coded shows us that this gentleman here in the video is the angel that Ariana Grande is going to be targeting. The boy is mine. He's the boy that's going to be hers, the angel. The female is going to consume the male here. And Max Starling sums to 32 in Chaldean. I found this image on the internet where it says rats get bats, and then you can see the X symbolism and the rat face with the double X symbolism as well to show us the dead eyes, that this rat is dead. And it says rats get bats, and it's got the red, white, and black, which is colors of I believe the Templars, and it's also a satanic color coding as well, heavily used in the movie Beetlejuice if you go watch that. So the number 32 matches the word in the Bible. 32 in the Bible is the word angel. It means an angel, a messenger, generally a supernatural messenger from God. So all sorts of references to him being the angel, his name Max Starling, the boy is mine, and hit summing to 32 shows us here that he's the angel. And then as she's watching TV, the scene transitions. She's in her kitchen watching Max Starling here on TV tell us about killing all the rats with his cats. And she's watching the TV screen, and we get a view of her kitchen. And the window here behind her in the kitchen is a total nod to Freemasonry. The window is in the shape of the Royal Freemason Arch, and the Royal Freemason Arch at the very top has the number 69 for the symbolic representation of Cancer, which would be here. And we can see the pillar and the word cut off here, but it's eternal with the image of a sun. And here's some Freemason artwork here. We see the checkerboard floor with the two pillars, the twin pillars, Yakin and Boaz, male, female, good, evil, with the central G in the middle and the all-seeing eye of providence over top, and the sun and the moon. So here we see the central sun, the eye of providence, the central sun, Polaris is what that's a representation of. And So definitely a nod to Freemasonry here in this scene. Interestingly enough, the title "The Boy Is Mine," as we saw, sums to 43, and so does the word Freemasonry. Freemasonry sums to 43, so there's a match. And I'm going to show one more verse in this decode, and that's going to be Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, so right at the beginning of the Bible. I've broken this down before, but I broke it down with the word God as Elohim. So I didn't include that in this decode. It's in some of my previous decodes if you want to go look. But this word God is Hebrew word for 30, and that's Elohim, gods, plural. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. But what's interesting in this verse is we're going to break down the words male and the words female. And the word male is Hebrew word 2145, zakar, and that means properly remembered. And the word female is the Hebrew word 5347, meaning female from the sexual form, but it's from the root word nakab, which is 5344, and that means to pierce, to puncture, literally to perforate with more or less violence, or figuratively to specify, designate, and libel, to appoint, to blaspheme, bore, curse, express with holes, name, pierce, or strike through. And we see here these are some pop culture references that are the manifestation of this definition here. And we see here this is a band called the Scorpions from the 80s and 90s. These are two album covers, and here's one with a female with a scorpion tail, where her legs turn into a scorpion's tail with a stinger. And this is a second one with a naked female, lustful on the top of a hill, and the hill is filled with scorpions, and it looks like she's the queen of the scorpions here in this album cover. On the bottom left, we see Lady Gaga on a magazine cover. The controversy for this magazine cover is she posed nude, and I put the yellow lightning bolt over her reproductive system here, but on her left breast is a scorpion, and this is the Candy magazine. I believe it's a transgendered magazine. Here is a hairstyle that mimics the look of a scorpion, and the scorpion tail and the stinger here, the black and the white. And we also see a lot of scorpion tattoos on women, and these are just some images from these are both from collectfiles.com. In the upper right corner, we see the commemorative coin for the 2020 pandemic. And this is the coin from the Vatican. And here you can see this male central figure is receiving he's getting perforated here or punctured with a syringe, and he's encompassed by these two females, twin X, and his index finger is pointing directly at the 0 because the female energy from 127 is puncturing the male energy, which is being properly remembered. So this battle, male-female, this duality, good and evil, is right from the beginning of Genesis 1:27. And here's a lustful female on a hook, because she's the bait on the hook. So we see lots of different imagery from different sources that manifest this definition into the world, and most of us don't see it because we're not aware of the Hebrew definition of the words here in the Bible. So let's take a look. So moving on with Ariana Grande's video, this scene here, she is in front of a fireplace, and she has a bunch of drawings or artwork for this man that she's in love with, almost like a stalker, and that man is Max. We see his name here, Max. That's Max Starlick, the mayor we saw on TV earlier. And on one of the hearts, I zoomed in, is the words "love is forever." And that's a very common phrase, love is forever, and it sums to 60 in Chaldean. This is another album cover from the band The Scorpions, and the album title is Love at First Sting. and that also matches Love is Forever at 60 in Chaldean. Other words that match Love is Forever is Love at First Sight, Who Wants Honey, Master of Disguise, Feed the Wolf, Who is the Wolf, Mother of Jesus, Tower of Babylon, The Government, Soul Harvest Cycle, and Welcome to Hell. And just showing some more manifestations of this scorpion, this stinger, this perforate to puncture with the female. Here is a tattoo showing a scorpion with the heart, and here is a heart with a scorpion in it showing the stinger. And I was actually quite surprised. When I was doing a Google search to find these images, there was plenty of images that came up, and many artwork depictions of hearts and scorpions, and all on many tattoos here of the same manifestation of this heart and scorpion. In English, Love at First Sting, I thought was interesting, summing to 216, and we know the number 216 is a product of 6 by 6 by 6, so sort of a crypto 666 reference there. And the word max sums to 10, and we saw that man summed to 10, as well as star and rats. So here we see his name is Max, and that matches man, star, and rats, and we know he's the angel, the boy is mine, that she's after. So she's eyeing up this love potion, this pink venom that we see in the video. And this scene here, she's eyeing it up with her glasses. And I zoomed in on the logo on the corner of the glasses, and we see it's a heart. But within the heart is the Coco Chanel logo for the Vesica Pisces, which we saw earlier in this decode, representing the sacred geometry of the female reproductive system. And love potion number 9 is a famous way of describing a love potion, and that sums to 62. And in the next scene, we see a cat come in through the window in the kitchen and starts playing with this pink venom love potion. It says Max Starling love potion, and the cat ends up pawing at the potion and knocking it off the countertop and breaking it, and we'll see that in the next scene. But this cat here, this kitten, another word for cats is pussies, and we see here in Chaldean, pussies kill the rats, summing to 62, and the word pussy is also another euphemism for the female reproductive system. 62 is a big number. We see it in a lot of my decodes. The number 62 is the word queen in English and the word Madonna in English, and in Chaldean, these are some of the words in the Chaldean cipher: the immortal queen, Lilith the deceiver, the scarlet woman, twin female system, deal with the devil, on inverted cross, and trapped in flesh, all summed to 62. So as I said before, the cat hits the love potion and it crashes on the floor here, breaking the bottle and spilling the love potion on the floor. This pink juice is all over this Freemason checkerboard floor, this black and white checkerboard floor. And as she's singing the words, can't unsee it, and she's gathering up this love potion in this syringe. And interestingly, a syringe is used to puncture, to sting, and the words can't unsee it in reverse English sum to 166. We're going to see the number 166 on the next slide, so remember that. And the words scorpion stinger sum to 201, and we saw that earlier in the decode with rat exterminator and the crooked serpent. And here's another image of her in her Catwoman costume. She jumped from this motel that she stood on top of that looks like she was reigning supreme over this motel, and she jumps from rooftop to rooftop, and there's a scene where she jumps right in the middle of the moon, and you can see the whip that she's carrying, and that whip forms the shape of a scorpion stinger with a sharp point at the end. And matching this artwork we see here from Marina Abramovich, who I've done a decode on as well, and she is the Witch of Hollywood, or the ambassador to Ukraine for NATO. She's a leading figure in the world, but she's known for her satanic imagery, her satanic art, and her writing spells on walls with blood and semen. And this image is of a man making love with a scorpion, and you can see the stinger is about to sting him in the back. And this is biblical. This is some biblical truth in art, and again, without the definitions and without breaking it down, this artwork just escapes most people and what it means. In my research, it appears that the Satanists appear to know the Bible more and better than most Christian churchgoers. So let's move on. So this is the end of the video. She finally gets her man, and she sings the words, "The boy is divine," meaning that the boy is from God, from heaven. And the words, "the boy is divine," summed to 166, which we saw in reverse was the words "can't unsee it." And 166 is relevant in the English Ordinal cipher because it matches the words tetragrammaton, which is the Yod-He, Vod-He, or the self-existent eternal Jehovah at 166. And it also matches the following words: "the day of the Lord, all-seeing eye of God, annuit coptis," which means He, God, has favored our undertakings, and that is on the back of the $1 bill as well. That's the Latin word annuit coptus. The Book of the Law, which is the book written by Aleister Crowley. Love is in the air, Earth frequency, lotus flower, praying mantis, queen consort, symbiotic demon, 201, which is the number 201, one world order, the government, the White House, Twin Towers, Secret Society, The Big Bang Theory, and Florida Panthers, who we'll see come up in our decode in the next couple slides. The number 166 in the Bible is interesting as well, because it matches the word shine in Hebrew. Hebrew 166 is the word shine, to be clear. In Greek, 166 matches the words eternal, forever, and everlasting. As we know, as stars of El, we have everlasting life. And so the boy is divine is correct here. Interestingly enough, I knew praying mantises devoured their male mate after mating, but I found this as well. Female scorpions also eat their males instantly after mating. I thought that was interesting. So let's take a look at the theme here for Kill the Rats. And so we saw it in the House of the Dragon episode about the rat exterminator. And we see it here in a video released just a week or two before, just a couple days before House of the Dragon was released. The Boy Is Mine video with Ariana Grande, and again the theme is Kill the Rats. And all this was going on. The NHL playoffs were going on with the Florida Panthers making it all the way to the final round. And you can see in the crowd, you can see signs here. "My daddy says it will rain rats tonight." And this Florida Panthers team, for those that don't know, whenever they win, the crowd throws a bunch of plastic rats on the ice. And this has a history to it about a rat being killed by one of the players long ago, and this tradition has continued. And we know that the words "kill the rats" is tied to the Black Plague. There's this theme of killing the rats has been around for a very, very long time. And I actually saw, I couldn't capture it, but I was watching one of the NHL playoff games in Edmonton, and one of the Edmonton Oilers fans had a sign that said "Kill the Rats," and that was my inspiration for doing this decode. So let's have a look here at some other themes where we see "Kill the Rats." So for the Florida Panthers, we see that the Florida Panthers logo was a cat, and just like the Boy Is Mine video with the cats killing the rats. So here's the cat on the logo, and when they win, the dead rats are thrown onto the ice, the cats killing the rats. And when they won the cup the next morning, this was the headline, and it says "Cats Clinch Cup." And this was on June 24th, 2024, and "Cats Clinch Cup" sums to 48 in Chaldean, matching the words "pussies kill rats" at 48. And on June 24th, this is the primary numerology for June 24th, and how we calculate that, we just add up the date. So 6 plus 24 plus 20 plus 24 gives us a sum total of 74. So the primary numerology for the day the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup was 74. And 74 matches the words properly remembered, which is exactly the definition for the word male out of Genesis 1:27, matching the piercing serpent at 74, also matching the full title of the video we looked at, Ariana Grande, The Boy Is Mine, also sums to 74 in Chaldean. And this theme of killing the rats has been going on for a long time, and it's also one of the central themes during the 2020 pandemic. And we see here that one of the products that was forced on a lot of people, the logo and the art and the imagery for it here, we can see the syringes on a mirror with the vials, and there's the mirror, the one up one down system shown to us right there. And the product is starts with the words Astra, and if you take that product name and divide it into its three words, its three components, we see from Latin to English, we see that product translates into kill the stars. And we know the stars are the rats. So here's the theme: kill the rats, kill the stars. And it matches the name of that 2020 pandemic. Here it is here. And we know in Latin, and I should have included here in the Latin to English translator, the word Ovid translates from Latin to English as the word sheep. And we know sheep are another symbolic representation of the stars and the angels. So the word C, or the letter C before Ovid, C is the third letter of the alphabet, and we know the third Greek word in the Bible is the word Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, another word for the devil or the serpent. So we can look at this as Abaddon's sheep, and 19 in the Bible is the word slaughter. So Abaddon's sheep slaughter is a way of interpreting this name for the 2020 pandemic, and that sums to the number 224, and that matches the Society of Jesus. And this prominent figure, I also won't say his name, this prominent figure who was on the news all the time during this event. It also 224 also matches simulation theory, God within us eternal, 3.14, which is a representation of pi. Everything has meaning, nothing else matters, and the return of the king. So that's the decode. Thanks for watching, and thanks for everyone for your support. We'll see you next time, and much love to all. Thank you. Bye-bye.